What's going on, everybody? I appreciate y'all for tuning back in, and today I got a retro review for you guys in the KD4 Galaxy.
I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs. I hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs. Yeah, I hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah.
So this will actually be my second retro review of the KD line. The first one I did was the KD3, and if you guys want to go ahead and check that out, you guys can click the annotation above if you want to go ahead and watch that. If not, we are going to be talking about the retro KD4 Galaxy colorway. Starting us off, we talk about the sizing and the price. And the sizing, I could recommend that you guys go your true to size. Now, if you're a wide footer, I would tell you guys to go up half a size because, as you guys can see, this is a very narrow shoe and it does stop a little short. Now, granted, for me with my true to size, I did have a little bit of toe room, but it isn't that much. It's just going to be a little tiny bit. But like I was telling you guys, if you're a wide foot, I would definitely tell y'all to go up half a size because you are going to need that space. But granted, for me, I was able to have enough toe space. And if you're a wide foot, I would tell you guys, especially around the size of your foot, I would tell you guys to go up half a size because, as you guys can see, it's a stiff shoe. It's minimal forefoot flexion here, which is obviously a result of you running and jumping off the balls of your feet. And the pricing for the KD4 Retro is going to be $130, which isn't too bad because, as you guys know, a lot of people like to take retros and make it more expensive than what they are. But I definitely got to credit Nike for the KD line of their retros, for the KD3s being $130 and the KD4s being $130. And that's what we appreciate a lot more. Not these retros being mad expensive. Not to say they weren't good at that time, but I mean, let's be honest. A shoe that was made in 2004 should not be costing the price of like $180 and up, and it doesn't have the same technology or anything as it would in 2024. So I'm not mad at the $130 price. Personally, I like the simplicity of the colorway, and one thing I also like about this shoe as well is it is blue in the dark. The strap here goes up in the dark, and also the traction pattern. If you guys take this into the sunlight or a very bright area and you come back to a dark setting, it doesn't have to be completely dark. Traction outsole is going to light up. One thing I will tell you guys though, the materials on the shoe is very stiff. Like I mentioned before in the sizing, there's little to no forefoot flexion, and it is going to be very stiff around the foot, something that you're going to have to break in. It doesn't feel like to the point where it's uncomfortable, but it is a shoe that you guys are going to have to go ahead and break in. And one thing I will say, around this time period in 2012, this is when Galaxy colorways was in. I would see NBA players have other Galaxy shoes. I would see people in person wearing Galaxy shirts, hat, socks. This also back when a lot of y'all, I don't know if a lot of y'all played it, but Black Ops 2 even introduced Galaxy camos. Galaxy camos. So this is back when Galaxy was just the wave. People were just creating Galaxy shoes, and I think for that time period, it was definitely pretty fire. At this time period, not many people create Galaxy shoes. It's more like LaMelo and Pumas. But for the time period, like I was telling you guys, the Galaxy colorway was it. And even now in 2024, this Galaxy colorway still does hit. Up next, we have my favorite category, which is the cushion. And I'm going to go ahead and give these a 7.5 out of 10. Inside the cushioning of this shoe is Zoom Air, which is one of my favorites at Nike. But the reason why I went ahead and gave this a 7.5 out of 10 is you guys aren't going to get that much boost off of the ground. So which details that you guys are going to get a decent amount of impact force protection upon jumping and landing. Now the cushion is somewhat soft, and you guys are going to get a little bit of something inside the forefoot because there's Zoom Air inside the forefoot. But my biggest thing is, like I said, there is no impact force protection upon jumping and landing. And back in the day, this is 2012, so you guys got to go ahead and look at the time period because around that time, they weren't that big on cushion how they are now. Like the KDs then are not the same KDs now. He's in year 17. The cushion setup now is souped up, is max. You guys are going to get that boost over the ground because look at almost all the shoes before the KD 11. They didn't have that much cushion. But the 12s, the 13s, the 14s, the 15s, 16s, and now even waiting on the 17s, they have souped up cushion. You guys are going to get that boost over the ground, which is going to give you that good amount of impact force protection upon jumping and landing. You guys are going to get a little bit more bounce inside those shoes. So I weren't really worried about putting too much cushion inside the shoe. And like the Hyperdunks too. Hyperdunks were big around that time as well. And I'm pretty sure most of us, even myself included, had a pair of Hyperdunks. And they had some really good support around them Hyperdunks, but they had little to no cushion inside Hyperdunks at all. That's because around that time period, their focus point was on. So for me, I would have preferred a little bit more cushion inside the shoe just to give me a little bit more impact force protection upon jumping and landing. But for the time period of this being a retro and it giving a 7.5, like I said, this cushion setup is not bad, but it could have been a little better. But again, it is a retro, so like I said, it's not bad. Moving on to the trash, and I'm going to go ahead and get these a 7.5 out of 10. Now, once you guys take this shoe outside of the box, you guys are going to feel the traction pattern on the outsole. It is very sticky, and actually still after playing with this on the court, you guys are going to feel it still feels very sticky. You guys already know this is a translucent outsole, so you guys already know what that means. It's going to be, it could either be a hit or a miss, and this is just in between. You guys aren't going to hear any squeaking moving north to south, but you guys are going to hear a little bit of squeaking is moving laterally, so east to west. So if you guys are doing step backs, spin moves, if you guys are doing Euro steps, stuff like that, playing defense, you guys are definitely gonna hear the traction pattern and feel the grip and bite of the traction pattern. Yeah, one cool thing that I like about this shoe is when you guys take it from playing inside LA Fitness or in the sunlight, and you do go into a dark setting where like you go back into your car or you go into like a part of your house, whatever the case may be, you guys are going to see the traction pattern does light up, which is pretty cool, and it does glow in the dark. Now, unfortunately, most of us don't play on a dark ass court or anything like that, so you guys aren't going to see it on the court, but it's cool to know that once you come back into your house, if you don't have your phone on you or anything like that, you can literally use these as somewhat of a light to see where you're going inside or whatever the case may be. Just something cool feature that I like. And maybe I wouldn't recommend that you guys play with this shoe outside, obviously, because it is going to attract a lot of dust inside. Pros and cons of this traction also being sticky. It's one, you guys are going to get a good grip and bite moving laterally, but you guys, this shoe is definitely going to attract dust. And one thing I will say, if your court is very dusty and they don't keep up with it, I would tell you guys, do not purchase this retro. And if you do have this retro, I don't know if you guys want to go ahead and keep it, because this thing is definitely going to attract dust, and you definitely are going to slip out like crazy if the court that you guys are not maintaining is very dusty. Now, if you guys go into a court that can get dusty, but they do clean it and they do maintenance it very well, you guys can go ahead and wear this shoe. I would tell you guys to wipe, obviously, almost not after every play, but here and there you guys are going to want to wipe. But you guys are going to get that really good amount of grip and bite moving laterally. Like I said, north to south, it's not going to give you too much, but moving laterally, it definitely is going to give you something. And if you guys play on the highest of high courts like NBA, Euro League, wherever it is that you guys are playing, and you know they keep over that court, obviously you guys can go ahead and wear this because you're not going to do any slipping or anything like that. And I would tell you guys to not even try and take this shoe outside. Don't do it. Don't waste your time. Don't do it. Now, and last but not least, we have the support, and I'm going to go ahead and give these a 7.5 out of 10. Inside this shoe, you guys aren't going to see or get that much padding around the ankle bone and Achilles heel, as well as nothing inside the tongue. But where you guys are going to get the best part about the support of this shoe is around the ankle snuggability around that foot. Once you tie this shoe to the tightest around that ankle, it is going to stay like that, and it is going to help you guys be able to play confidently inside this shoe. Now, the only con about that is, since there is no padding inside this shoe, you guys are going to feel that discomfort around the ankle bone of this shoe, because like I mentioned to you guys before, it is a very stiff shoe. That's why you don't get that much forefoot flexion. But I know around the lining around the ankle bone and Achilles heel is just very stiff. Now, fortunately, you guys don't feel the pain back here, or I didn't feel the pain back here where that Achilles heel is. But like I was telling you guys earlier, where that ankle bone is, I did feel the discomfort around it. So while I was playing with this, it would disappear, come back here and there. So obviously, I think once you guys are playing inside the shoe, you probably aren't going to feel it until you stop playing, until the game is over. Then you might feel a little bit of discomfort, a little bit of pain, nothing too crazy or anything like that, but you just feel like, you just know there's no padding around there. So it is kind of going to be pressed up. Again, if you guys are going to tie this shoe to the tightest, you guys are going to feel that it is going to feel pressed up against the ankle bone, which can cause a little bit of discomfort. Some of you guys can go ahead and double sock. The confidence support wise in this shoe, if you're a crafty player, shooter, even defender, I feel like this shoe is definitely going to be able to have you guys play in that confidence. The confidence you guys are going to feel support wise is definitely going to be a big benefit. Yeah, ending it off, we had the ranking of the KD4 Galaxy, and I'm going to go ahead and give these a B-. Now, coming into this, I knew this shoe would be around a B, just because back in 2012, they weren't really that big on cushion setups, and they weren't really that big around putting padding on the ankle bone and Achilles heel. The cushion setup for me, you guys are going to get a decent amount of impact force protection upon jumping and landing. I'd have preferred a little bit more cushion inside, but again, this is like 12, 13 years ago, so I can't go back in time. I would tell you guys, don't even worry about taking this shoe outside for the traction, support, nor the cushion. Just don't do it. Don't take it outside. This is an inside performer only, so do not, again, take it outside. The traction setup, like I was telling you guys are going to hear any squeaking moving north to south. You guys are going to feel the grip and bite and squeaking moving laterally. So east to west, that's upon Euro steps, side steps, back, stuff like that. So you guys are going to feel the impact of that traction pattern moving those directions. But that's going to go ahead and be the end of this video. As always, I appreciate y'all for tuning in, liking, commenting, subscribing, doing my community polls, watching the shorts now. Your boy's been posting shorts, and I am going to get back into filming RV5 content for you guys, so don't be surprised if you guys see a full 5. I said that's going to be the end of the video. I'm going to have Chauncey send us out. Shout out Chauncey for always being my favorite outro of all time. Have us send us out, and I'm going to see you on the next one. I'm out.
Got anything you want to add to it, Chauncey?
What? That's your end intro?
Yeah, just the end intro.
Thank you for guys watching today's video. See you next in today's video. Bye.